I would like to call to order this special City Commission meeting. The date is Monday, December 6, 2021, and the time is 5:01 p.m. And we can go right into the agenda. Item 3.1, public hearing of resolution number 322-21F, readopting the final fiscal year 2021/2022 millage rates for operating purposes and for debt service, and resolution number 323-21F, readopting the final fiscal year 2021/2022 operating budget.
Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for having to come out here a second time to bless this. So I'm going to explain why we're here today to readopt. On September 23rd, the Mayor and City Commission approved resolutions 259-21, adopting the final ad valorem millage rates, and resolution 260-21, adopting the city's annual budget for fiscal year 21-22. So the TRIM, what the TRIM is the truth in millage process, which is a 100-day process where the budget office goes through a series of calculations. We work with the property appraiser's office, the Department of Revenue, to come up with all of the final figures, millage rate, and what taxpayers are going to pay, basically. So within 30 days of the final hearing, the city submitted our TRIM compliance package to the Department of Revenue. On November 16th, we received a notice from the Department of Revenue that the millage certification documents submitted were not in compliance under Florida statutes 200-065, 200-068, due to two technical errors. So the ad valorem proceeds in the budget summary advertisement were calculated using less than 95% of the gross taxable value, and the debt millage proceeds were understated by $4,987, and I'm going to show you why. So Florida statutes, there is basically the statute that details that you must meet the 95%. You could be off a very little amount in your figures, even $1, and you will have to redo the process. So I can read this if you'd like, but basically the DR 420 that this is stating is a form that we sign and submit that details the budget and how we got the numbers from the property appraiser. So here is what happened. The data used for the TRIM advertisement that goes in the newspaper, on the CRA tax increment financing, prior year values were listed, causing the total ad valorem proceeds to be understated and not meet the 95%. What happened is we had a prior figure. We did not update the figure. We have a calculation form that's already got formulas in it. The formula was not updated. So that caused us to report those two figures incorrectly. The correction is shown below. The correct figure is the 123,634,930 ad valorem, less the CRA increment of 28,326,181. And I just want to explain what this really means is we have a base value of the CRA, of what it was in 1982 or whenever they were first made the airway. Whatever the values come in at for the total city of West Palm, we have to minus out the base value. And that's how your true taxes to the public are created. So those figures were wrong in the ad, but they were not wrong in calculating the budget. Everything was correct in the whole line item budget. CRA's budget was correct. General fund was correct, but the calculation in the summary ad was incorrect. So the data used for the TRIM advertisement for the debt service millage revenue, the June 1st estimated debt service taxable values from the property appraiser were used to calculate the general obligation debt service revenue. Now what that is basically your parks bond. We get a figure and then we get an updated figure, okay? So we did not use the updated figure. So the July 1st preliminary debt service taxable property values of $15,607,486 should have been used. The end result was we're going to take in $4,987 more in debt service revenue. Now, we don't go back and change the tax bills. We're taking in the proper amount. You must take in the minimum to cover your debt service. You can take in a little bit over, but as long as you take in 95% of the figure that is in our TRIM information from the property appraisers. So when we try to come in exact and we do rounding, these are the kind of mistakes that can happen, and unfortunately, I did not catch that. A series of 5 of us did not catch this, so we had to re-advertise. $4,987 would have meant about 9 cents per resident, so we don't go back and redo a tax bill for 9 cents. So, okay, so the debt service millage rate of the general obligation debt service revenue was recalculated using the July 1st preliminary property appraiser debt service taxable values. So this results in the $4,987 of debt millage proceeds. The fiscal-wide impact revenue and expenditure budget increase of $4,987 is going to amend the originally adopted budget of $569,875,767 to $5,069,880,754. This is the TRIM advertised ad that we had to re-advertise on December 1st. And in the upper left, under General Fund, you'll see the lines, the second dollar amount that I explained, and then the third one of the CRA. The net result is the same, and that's why we don't always catch it, because we're looking at our totals to make sure our totals are correct. The middle piece got slipped, and believe me, I don't think we're going to do it again, because I revised the form that we use to do the calculations, and it's highlighted all over the place. So recertifying the TRIM compliance is we already re-advertised within 15 days of the non-compliance notice. We revised the budget summary. We provided the notice of property tax increase with applicable violation clause and the new hearing date. The ads were re-advertised in the Palm Beach Post on December 1st. It requires us to hold this new millage and budget hearing 2 to 5 days following the publication of the above advertisement, which is what we're doing today. And so when we're done today, I'll be forwarding the copies of the full-page advertisement, proof of publication, copy of the ordinances, and the certifications, which the mayor will sign when we're done with the voting of this. So staff is recommending that you please approve resolution number 32221F, readopting the final ad valorem millage rates, and then separately approving resolution number 32321F, readopting the city's annual budget for fiscal year 2021-2022.
Okay, how do we keep this one? What steps have been taken?
Yes.
What guidelines have been, what policies have been imposed, so this will not happen again in the future?
Right. What we're going to do is we're going to submit to the Department of Revenue in advance to ask them to please review our documents, and they have lots to do, but they did tell us if we could submit it in enough time that they would review it, and I did redo the calculation sheet with highlights. And my staff were all extremely aware. We have highlights all over, and I promise you, this is not going to happen again.
Okay. All right, commissioners, any questions? Ms. Johnson, you have something to say?
No, I just want to add a footnote that we did, moving forward, put checks and balance in place so that, I know Ms. McDermott does an excellent job calculating all of these formulas and what have you, and sometimes when you're working with numbers, you don't pick up your own error. So as a check and balance, you know, once she runs all of the formulas and numbers, then to have someone else look at it with a fresh set of eyes, you know, as a check and balance, in addition to the measure that she just indicated by sending it early to DOR. I don't think we want to be put in a position where we have to send it to DOR to check our work. I mean, we have done an excellent job. We have an excellent track record heretofore. You know, this time we had technical errors, and so we want to get back to that perfect record that we had prior to this one.
All right, maybe you have two fresh set of eyes, two sets of fresh eyes.
As of the date of our letter, we were the 23rd agency. Not that I want to lessen what happened, but I just want to let you know that,
That's not a group I want to be
it's
part of.
not, no, exactly.
All right. Okay, so let's just make sure the appropriate protections are imposed. Yes, Madam City Attorney.
Yes, when you're ready, Mayor, I'd like to give you the process for adopting these regulations also.
All right, let me see if there are any comments. Commissioner Lambert and then Commissioner Schroff.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ms. McDermott. I appreciate how hard you and your team work, and it is a lot of numbers. So thank you so much for that. Administrator Johnson, thank you for clarifying that we do have checks and balances. And what I presume highlighting all over the place means are those checks and balances. So thank you for putting those in place. I just wanted to clarify because I think we're talking about two different situations here. And so I just would like some clarification around them. I heard you say that the overall numbers aren't changing, and yet there was a 9-cent difference that we're not going to fix. Can you just clarify that for
Right.
the public?
When you do the figuring for the debt service, it's a rounding, and you always round up. You always have to take in just a little bit more than what that debt service is because of some change. And when you have 118,000 residents or 55,000 homesteads, you can't round to the nearest dollar, enough. When there's an error that's less than $1, no changes are to be made, so.
Okay, great.
But
Thank
the
you.
bottom line is no one's taxes are going to be
No,
increased. as a
no
result of
changes
this.
in anything, no.
Thank you.
Commissioner Schroff.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that's what I wanted to clarify for the public. As we're looking at the first resolution, there is no change to the millage rate. This is readopting what we had already adopted previously. And as to the second resolution, there's no change for fiscal year, so there's no increase, there's no decrease. We're still in the same place. So everything, no one's taxes are going up, no additional revenue. We're in the same place exactly.
Correct.
Thank you.
Commissioner Fox.
Thank you for bringing this to us, and thank you for making sure that we could resolve this issue so quickly. I just wanted to confirm also, are we being penalized in any way for this error, or is there anything that the
No, it was-
ramifications going forward?
It was just the cost of re-advertising,
Which is how much?
$1,100. Sorry.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission? Okay, Madam City Attorney, if you want to walk us through the process.
Sure. So the statute requires that we adopt these resolutions in a particular manner for setting the millage rate and adopting your budget. You're doing it the second time, and it's the first thing that we'll need to do is have the clerk read the title of the resolution you're going to vote on first. You'll take the vote, and then there'll be a roll call vote, and you'll do that for each of the resolutions.
All right, so we get the motion in a second, then the clerk reads it.
The clerk reads it first,
Oh, clerk
and then the
reads it
motion is
first.
second.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
Resolution number 322-21F, a resolution of the City of West Palm Beach, Florida, readopting final ad valorem millage rates of 8.3465 mils for general operating purposes, which is 2.77% above the calculated rollback rate of 8.1212 and 0.0718 mils for general obligation debt service, for a total of 8.4183 mils, and levying ad valorem taxes for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2021, and ending September 30, 2022, setting forth certain information regarding rollback rates and providing an effective date.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of resolution number 322-21F.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now we need to take a roll call vote, right? Okay. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Okay. Commissioner Paduzzi,
Aye.
Commissioner Schoaf,
Yay.
Commissioner Warren,
Aye.
Commissioner Fox, Commissioner Lambert.
Yay.
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good, thank you. Can you read the next resolution, please, Madam Clerk?
Resolution number 323-21F, a resolution of the City of West Palm Beach, Florida, readopting the final estimates of revenue and expense for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2021, and ending on September 30, 2022, as its annual budget, appropriating the use of funds shown therein as may be needed or deemed necessary to defray all expenses and liabilities of the city for such fiscal year, providing a savings clause, providing an effective date, and for other purposes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of resolution number 323-21F.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Peduzzi?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoaf?
Yay.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Fox? Commissioner Lambert?
Yay.
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good. That is the last item of business.
Can I just note for your record that there is no public present and therefore the reason we had no public comment?
Okay. Duly noted. It's the last item of business, so this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.